Welcome to the Chasing the Ripcurrent podcast presented by the Russell Legal Group and Sign Design. I'm with Aidan Pham, Avi Singh, and Colin Costigan. I'm Sam Evans, and we've got a great, exciting podcast for you today. The CCL All-Star roster will be out tomorrow, so keep an eye out on social media for that. We'll talk about the Riptide's week. Went 500 this week in Orange County, had some big wins and some tough losses. Reid Montgomery is going to join the pod to talk with us as well about his big week. And then we'll take a look ahead at what's coming up for the Riptide in a little bit of a shorter and more compact next week. So that'll be what we have. We can start things off on Tuesday. The Riptide took a 5-0 win over the San Diego Waves. Aidan, you want to take us through that one?
Yeah, good game for the Riptide. Second shutout win against an opponent this year. They did it in a 5-0 win. The Riptide Bats got the job done, 9 hits. OC pitching was great, just 5 hits allowed. And you really got to credit Justin Tiller. Solo home run in the eighth inning. That was big for Orange County. And Zach Woodson, how about him? Started the week below the Mendoza line, but he's had a good one. And now he's hitting 244. He was 3 for 4 against the Waves. And just a big team win to start the week off 1-0.
Definitely was a big win. I should make sure I mention before I forget that this week in review is sponsored by Chick-fil-A and First Class Pizza in Woodbury Town Center. It was a bit of a downer on Wednesday night. The Riptide dropped one to the San Diego Bombers in extra innings, 5-3. Orange County led 2-0 in that ball game. The Bombers sort of scrapped their way back to get us tied at 2, and then it really became a pitcher's duel. No one scored again until the 10th. Brandon Weiland was trying to give the Riptide some real length out of the bullpen, had to pitch the eighth, ninth, and just sort of ran out of gas a little bit in the 10th. Scott Stanley's Bombers did a really nice job of putting good at-bats together in the 10th inning against Weiland, and they were able to string together 3 runs. Riptide just couldn't answer in the bottom of the frame. Probably the toughest loss that Orange County's had all season, first extra innings loss of the year, and definitely one of those where you really feel like you should have won, but those games are important. They make you build and become a better team in the future. And hopefully the Riptide can avoid losses like that. But they sort of suffered another one on Thursday night at Compton, right, Colin?
Yeah, you talk about gut punching losses. That one was easily one of the hardest losses that the Riptide will probably have this season. It was a game in which they led 4-1 going into the eighth, but that middle of the order with the Barons is probably one of the best middle orders that you are going to see throughout the entire CCL. I mean, what they have with Jason Del Villar, David Aguirre, who's a Riptide killer. They kind of came back in that one. They were able to tie it up in the bottom of the eighth at 4-4. And then Julian Hines tried to pitch through a very tough part of the order. There was just a couple of miscues. An error gave him the go-ahead runner that eventually came around to score the walk-off run. So it was a game in which the Riptide wanted to flush out.
They certainly flushed it on Friday when the Riptide beat the Oaks 8-2. Avi, you want to take us through that one?
Yeah, the Oaks were looking for a measure of revenge after the Riptide embarrassed them in their last outing with that 10 spot in the first inning last Friday, but it was the Oaks who got out in front first. Hunter Hammond had a bounce back performance on the mound for them after he gave up those 10 runs in the prior meeting, but the Riptide would claw back to tie the game up at 2, and then the Riptide offense would explode. 6 straight runs to give them an 8-2 victory. Reid Montgomery, who we'll talk to in just a bit, had a terrific game, a 3-hit game. He was the player of the night for the Riptide. Overall, a solid win against the Oaks and a good showing from the Riptide offense late in the game.
Orange County was not able to keep that momentum going when they traveled up to Ventura to take on the Oaks. Conejo won 13-2, the biggest loss the Riptide have suffered all season long. It was a 6-run bottom of the third inning for the Oaks. Jake Valenzuela and Luke Caceres each really struggled in the frame, got lifted. And so there were 3 pitchers. AJ Frausto had to finish out the inning. And from there, it really was never a competitive baseball game. The Oaks were in cruise control and just a really tough loss for the Riptide. And I think that this week was about, the highs and the lows. It definitely rode the roller coaster a little bit. And it was at least a fun into the week with a big win over the Philippines, right, Colin?
Yes, it was. For the Orange County Riptide, it was a good win to at least draw even for the week and go 3-3. But you saw a lot of good contributions, and what was really nice about that one, it was just an all-around team effort. You look at the dish primarily, it was Reid Montgomery just continuing to bash the baseball. Of course, why he's going to be joining us in just a few moments, just continuing and not just hitting the ball, but getting for extra base hits. He added an RBI in that game. Nate Pone had a great game behind the dish and at the plate. And then you look at the starting arms, you had Andrew Harbor, who came out, just gave up the one earned run. Thatcher had a nice bounce back start after kind of struggling a little bit when he came into that inherited spot on Thursday. And then you even had Douglas Crystal, who closed out the game. Obviously, it was in a lower leverage spot for him, but a lot of good bounce back efforts there for the Riptide.
Well, one thing that I really loved to see on Sunday was that Brian Evans found a way to get three of the Riptide's four catchers in the lineup. You had Cooper Klauser make his first start of the season at first base. Nate Pone behind the dish was awesome, just like you talked about. And Sean Romero, DH. Orange County's got four super talented catchers. Noah Neufeld on the bench in that game. But the Riptide found a way to get them all involved, and it was a really great showing. Ended up in a big win. So hopefully we see more of that. When we come back, Reid Montgomery will be joining us, and we'll talk with him about everything that you could possibly want to know. Stay tuned. Thank you to Reid Montgomery for joining us here on the Chasing the Ripcurrent pod. Reid, this is like two straight big weeks for you. How are you feeling at the plate right now?
I'm feeling awesome. I think I just needed some at bats to get comfortable in the box, but I'm feeling great right now.
Reid, you're one of the returners for the Riptide this summer.
Mhm.
What's that been like to first off live at home and then play in Orange County?
It's amazing. I wanted to come back. I love the atmosphere. I love the coaches, and I love the guys this year. And it's been really fun, like always.
Yeah, and for Reeds, you being obviously one of the four returners, you got Tommy McGuire, another one as well. Like, can you kind of talk about what it's like to try to mesh with a new team this year, and who are some of your favorite guys that you've gotten to know so far this season?
Yeah, it's been pretty easy. I think I'd say we've gotten close quick. I'm really close with Sable and Trajan and Barth and all the guys. So I'd say it's been really easy to get close as a group, and I love all the guys out there.
Well, your TikTok with Jarrett Sable was quite something the other day. So,
Yeah, that was funny.
for you at the plate, I mean, it just feels
Uh,
like you've had so much power. What's it been like for you to be able to just feel like you're finding gaps with so much ease and regularity? What's your approach?
I'd say my approach is always just sticking the line drives up the middle, um, and maybe even the right center field gap. Um, I'd say in general, I'm always looking to swing the bat. I'm always hunting the first pitch. So I'm always gonna be going up there looking for a fastball I can hit, and I've been getting a lot of them. So it's been nice.
Reid, when we talk to a lot of the guys, a lot of them say they love working with this coaching staff. And I know you're a returner. So what's your experience been like to work with Grant Mayu, Andrew Ramos, and
Yeah,
all those guys?
I love those guys. Yeah, in particular, I'm super close with Grant, but it almost feels like those guys are your best friends. So it's nice. Like we're all really close, and they're awesome to be around. They make it really fun to show up to the field every day. So I love them.
Did it feel like that you were able to, they had an extra understanding of your swing, especially Mayu, since he's been working with you for a couple of years now?
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. We'll tweak minor things in BP if they see it. But for the most part, they just let me go out there and play, and that's probably what I enjoy the most.
I know you've been hitting sort of ninth for the most of the season, moved up to the cleanup spot yesterday. Have you enjoyed sort of hitting down in the order where pitchers almost feel a little bit pressure to come after you before the top of the lineup comes up, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I don't pay attention too much to it. But yeah, I was doing well down there, but I mean, I'll hit anywhere in the lineup. I'm not too particular about it.
Reid, you're currently in the transfer portal after some
Mhm.
time at Long Beach State. What's that process been like to be in the portal and have all these coaches reach out to you?
Yeah, it's been fun and exciting, definitely a new experience. But it's been a good experience, and wait it out a little longer and see what happens.
Yeah, and Reed, of course, there's just a sense of comfortability for you with this Riptide team. I know we've spoke on it a
Mhm.
little bit as well, but you were the team leader in RBIs last year, and you're well on your way to trying to be amongst one of the top ones too, even with the star-studded lineup that you have. Like, where does that sense of like comfortability come from?
Uh, I think I'm just in a spot where I'm really comfortable on this team and I can just go out there and play free and be myself and play relaxed and confident. And I'm at my best when I do that. And I think I'm just having a lot of fun out there doing that right now.
We know that your parents were at the game yesterday. How did it feel to send one into deep center field? I thought for a second you might have gotten one out to dead center with
Mhm.
them in attendance.
Yeah, it's awesome having them there. They usually try to come to all the home games. They're super supportive of me. Having my dad there at every game, he's been my mentor through this whole baseball career, and he's like my best friend. So it's awesome, having him in the stands out there.
Who's the player in the dugout who's the funniest? I mean, I know Jarrett Sable and you get along very well, but who's the guy who's cracking you up the most in the dugout?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think it's hard to beat him. He's a clown in a good way. He keeps all the vibes high, keeps everyone happy. I'd say I'm jealous of him because he can come back into the dugout after striking out with a smile on his face. And I think that's awesome about him. He keeps everyone smiling and laughing.
Speaking of striking out, I think you had a two-strike strikeout. I think you got hosed on your last at bat yesterday, but I don't know if
Yeah.
you noticed or not. But
Yeah, I think he might have rung me up on the check swing,
okay,
so I'm not sure, but
yeah, it didn't look like you went around on that check swing.
yeah, yeah.
Now that we've gotten to see pretty much all the visiting ballparks, Reed, do you have a favorite that you would go to on the road, or is it here at the Great Park?
Definitely, I love the Park, but a second favorite honestly might be Slow just because of the atmosphere. It's fun playing in front of that crowd. So I enjoy playing there.
Reed, you talked about your relationship with the hitters. Is there a pitcher on the staff that makes you laugh the most, or is your favorite to interact with?
Probably Hines. We're super competitive when we play Clash Royale against each other. So he makes me laugh a lot and we're always going back and forth with each other.
How many?
Yeah,
So
oh, go ahead, Sam.
how many trophies are you guys at?
We're like almost at 14,000. So we're
Okay,
always
okay, there we
playing
go.
against each other.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I know you guys love to play different games, so I haven't actually played Clash Royale. That takes me back to middle school. But I
Yeah.
think what's funny too is like you guys play. I haven't seen everybody get on it yet. Obviously, the pitchers
Mhm.
have hacky sack, but the whole team does the two ball action. Can you kind of
Yeah.
how's your skills with the two ball action?
It's fun. It gets competitive out there, but we always do that before the games, and most of the guys come out there, so those games get interesting.
Who's the pitcher on the team who you would least want to face in an at bat?
Um, Honestly, I'd probably say Canavan, just because like a left on left, I feel like that's a pretty nightmare matchup with his arm slot and
Yeah,
stuff.
pump
So
delivery
yeah.
makes sense. Does anybody have anything else for Reid Montgomery? All right, and then last thing, what is the official Reid Montgomery Clash Royale deck?
Do you want me to pull it up right now?
If you text it to me, I can get it on screen
Okay.
for podcast. That'll be awesome.
Okay, let me send a screenshot of it to you.
Perfect. That's great.
Mhm.
'Cause I got to see what you're working with the deck stuff. Does
I've had the
anyone,
Okay.
same homemade deck since like high school.
oh, that's sick.
It like just works.
Does anyone besides Hines play, or is it just you two?
Yeah, but we're like the most competitive with each other.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I got it. Awesome. That's great. Thanks, Reed.
Of course.
Appreciate you joining us here on Monday morning. Hope that you
Yep.
can stay hot at the plate. We're rooting for you to be announced as a
Thank
CCL
you.
All-Star tomorrow.
Yes, hopefully.
All
Well,
right.
thank you guys, and this was awesome. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Appreciate it. See you tomorrow, Reed.
All right,
Bye-bye.
see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you to Marucci Clothing and Richardson Helmets for their support with the Reid Montgomery interview. We'll now have Rome Brewing and Fairmont Schools present our next week of Riptide baseball. So there's only 4 games coming up for Orange County next week. Off today, Monday the 29th. Our final game of June against the San Diego Waves tomorrow, Tuesday, June 30th at 7 p.m. That'll be a fun ball game. Waves are a feisty team, just took down the Barons yesterday in a blowout win. So they're going to want to be staying hot against the Riptide. We got a really fun one on July 1st against the Philippines, 7 p.m. Avi, you want to take us through the promotion for that night?
Yes, your United States men's national team has made the round of 32. They're taking on Bosnia and Herzegovina up in the Bay Area at 5 p.m. is the kickoff time. If you have a ticket to the game, you got to go to Great Park, watch the game on the Jumbotron, enjoy our concessions, and then stay for the Riptide Philippines game afterwards. So it's a fun doubleheader, soccer and baseball night. Come out, support Team USA, support your Riptide. It'll be a fun night.
Definitely going to be a great environment there. It's the final home game for the Riptide until Sunday. They'll travel up to Conejo at 4 p.m. on Thursday, July 2nd. Avi Singh will have the call on Riptide Radio, and then they'll be off for a day. They're not going to play a game on the 3rd. July 4th is the CCL All-Star game. Again, we're waiting on official rosters for that. That'll come out tomorrow. You can keep an eye on that in Reno, Nevada, see what Riptide players will be making the showcase. And then the week will round out on Sunday against the Philippines, where we'll be celebrating red, white, and you, our patriotic themed game of American independence. Obviously, won't be playing on the 4th of July, but can enjoy it a day afterwards as the Riptide take on the Philippines for the 3rd time in the span of a week. That game will be at 5:30 p.m. on Sunday, July 5th. Lot to look forward to in a short week. Hopefully, the Riptide can get back to playing above 500 baseball after their first non-winning week of the season. Anything you guys want to add before we head out? All right, perfect. For Aidan Pham, Colin Costigan, and Avi Singh, I've been Sam Evans. Thank you so much for listening in to the Chasing the Ripcurrent pod. We appreciate Reid Montgomery coming on as usual. If you want to add him at Clash Royale, reach out to him on Instagram. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.